Hello everybody, and welcome back to XCOM Long War. The aliens have struck at the Canadian military base, and XCOM has been called in to assist the local Mounties in putting out the fires in Operation Bloody Empire, a supremely ironic name for Canada. I'm your host Nitesco, now let's get started. We start off behind the warehouse. To the northeast is 2 rows of tanks, and to the northwest are a bunch of shipping containers. We use our scout's motion tracker to start things off, and with no aliens in sight, I decide to breach into the warehouse. Wherever we find the aliens, the warehouse will serve as a valuable staging point for launching our assault. With the sound of sectoids on the wind, we officially have our bearings. Our first target will be the hostiles sorting through the shipping containers. Diaz checks the motion tracker once again. It appears the sectoids we heard earlier are close, and we can get the drop on them from within the warehouse. So after checking to make sure they won't spot us through the shipping dock, the rest of the team moves up in preparation for an outward breach. We set up a rookie on either side of the door, and have them steady weapons in order to provide accurate fire support. Our assault is in the front position to breach through the door when it swings open. Once everybody's in place, Private Grady opens the door, but there's no sectoid in sight. They appear to have moved behind the shipping containers. We decide to set up an ambush for when they move back into range by putting our gunner and another rookie on either side of the shipping dock and put everybody into Overwatch. Unfortunately, the ambush didn't go quite as planned, and the sectoids don't trigger a single Overwatch as they scurry into the shadows. I decide to wait for them to move in and set everybody on Overwatch once again, except for the one soldier who has line of sight. I hunker him down in order to draw the sectoids into my trap. Murphy's Law of XCOM states that if a rookie can miss, he will miss. But thankfully, we have a resident badass lead who turns the sectoid into Swiss cheese.
Kill confirmed.
I get momentarily excited as one sectoid flanks himself, but it fades when I realize he has a second move. The remaining sectoid manages to pin my rookies at the door with an Overwatch. One of the sectoids is unfortunate enough to be in range of my run and gun assault. Dostoyevsky teaches the sectoid a little piece of trivia about shotguns. They don't care if you're in cover. My rookies have no chance of hitting the last sectoid, so they hunker down when my scout and assault get ready to flank. Wow, I suddenly don't feel so safe behind this wall now that I know plasma can phase right through it. Thankfully, that shot means the sectoid isn't on Overwatch, and I'm completely free to maneuver however I see fit. I'm 2 turns away from another run and gun, so I can't flank this turn. Instead, I move the rookies up to partial cover, allowing Lee to get a line of sight on the sectoid. This in turn gives me the ability to suppress the sectoid, allowing me to kill it at my leisure. Still, after the last mission, I'm not in the mood to take chances, and so the rookies hunker down. Meanwhile, our assault moves closer and goes into Overwatch, and our remaining troops follow suit. After the sectoid expresses the definition of futility, our rookies once again inch forward, this time into full cover and putting the sectoid into flashbang range, which our rookie dispenses with haste. While I could end him now with our shotgun, I want to spread around the experience, and since I also have a suppression, I feel completely safe in doing so.
X-ray locked down. Training ammo back.
Go on.
Blanco fallado.
With 3 drones on the horizon and 3 missed Overwatch shots, it's about now I'm wishing I had just gone through with it and killed the sectoid. But it's not actually an issue because Grady has a point-blank flank shot on the sectoid now. Murphy's Law. If a rookie has a 100% chance to hit, he'll deal minimum damage. I move our scout up to try and take out one of the drones, but with only a 39% chance to hit, she of course misses. Our rookie Soares follows suit with another missed shot. Oh, she hit it. Never mind then. Still, she doesn't manage to kill it, meaning we still have 3 fully functioning drones which are maybe 1 turn away from outmaneuvering us. Sadly, I have to waste my run and gun to clean up Grady's mess. Thankfully, you can always count on an assault to finish off an alien in a delicate situation. There's of course no way that 2 rookies will make 2 35% shots in a row, but I figure I might as well try. I'm of course, It's an exact repeat of before. Ladies and gentlemen, with this amount of luck, I think I may try my hand at the lottery. Lee comes in and does what gunners apparently do best. Snipes an elevated creature out of the air with a machine gun. Who knew, right?
Weapons dry.
One drone is apparently worked up about his hatred of shipping containers, and so the other comes over to give him a nice relaxing massage. With the motion tracker clear of other pods, Diaz moves up to try and improve her odds of hitting. This is of course a risky move, because if both of these drones aren't dead by the end of this turn, she could very well be hurting badly. Wow, Diaz, you can't even hit something 5 feet in front of you. Oh my god, will somebody just give this rookie a promotion already? Brady, on the other hand, continues to disappoint, and after a rousing round of failure to balance out the unnatural successes of Suarez, one drone is left floating, ready to zap our scout, Specialist Diaz. Thankfully, this drone had his weapon set to stun, and Diaz is left standing. You know what, Diaz? No, you deserve whatever happens next. Brady does his best, and even manages to hit, but pistols aren't exactly armor-piercing, and so he doesn't do the one needed damage. But once again, you can always count on a shotgun when you need a threat eliminated. And with said threat eliminated, I take the time to reload the team in preparation for the next pod. With more sectoid chatter in the wind and no more motion tracker, I have Diaz pop a battle scanner to try and get eyes on the pod. Unfortunately, line of sight is a bitch, and I'm unable to see it. After one more turn of reloading, we begin moving towards the tanks. Despite being heavy cover, the tanks actually serve as a difficult place to engage and outmaneuver the aliens from. But ever the short-sighted fool, I don't think to take the time and go back through the warehouse. As I approach the tanks, we can expect to make contact any turn now, and right on cue, the sectoids come trotting around the corner, right into our volley of Overwatch. Suarez, are you sure you're a rookie? Because I don't believe you. With only 2 health, I want to put Diaz into the best defensive position possible, so she goes into the best full cover at the furthest range. I check the corner to make sure there aren't any pods hanging around in no man's land, and move the rest of the team up in preparation for an assault next turn. A sectoid with the purple stuff strolls up, and so we have the actions of both accounted for. No Overwatch. Suarez sets off a flashbang so the little guy can't shoot or maneuver for a flank. Ortega sets up for a flank and hits the merging sectoid, but not hard enough to kill it. And it's here you get to see why Flush is so useful. We only need 2 damage, and it increases Lee's chances of hitting from 74% to 100%.
Flush him out.
Fresh out of the purple and down to 2 health, I move our assault in for the finishing blow. I wanted the flank to guarantee the kill, but unfortunately activated another pod in the process. I did consider this possibility, however, and the run and gun allows me to rush behind cover and still get the flank. Unsure if these new sectoids are aggressive, I use my last move to pop smoke on Ortega and Lee. And this is why these tanks are not an optimal area to engage in. The narrow lanes offer plenty of opportunities for the aliens to outflank you. Another sectoid gets a lucky shot on Dostoyevsky, but fails to get through her armor, so she's still out of the medbay for now. Lee moves up to suppress the bastard that shot her, and Ortega closes the distance and crosses no man's land. Those with low health hunker down, and everybody else moves into full cover and goes into Overwatch. We have 1 sectoid merging, 1 sectoid that shot, and 1 sectoid on Overwatch. Ortega disables the Overwatch with a flashbang, and Lee continues to suppress. With 1 sectoid suppressed and the other flashbanged, 3 troops dash to partial cover in preparation to finish off this pod. The flanked sectoid moves and merges again, while the suppressed sectoid fails to destroy a tank's cannon. Unfortunately, the flashbang sectoid finds success as he mind flays Suarez, and not even Suarez can hit something after a mind flay. With Lee needing to reload, she takes cover behind one of the tanks, and so it's up to Ortega to take up position to prevent a flank. Suarez moves out of the sectoid's sight, and Grady moves up to get a decent shot on the merged sectoid, leaving it up to our assault to finish it off. As luck would have it, one of the sectoids merges minds, and the one he merges with needs to reload. Sometimes, the XCOM gods smile upon you. Dostoyevska moves up and kills the merger, leaving Ortega to finish off the final sectoid.
Operational objectives completed.
All in all, a successful mission, and as a bonus, Canada didn't lose their entire military arsenal. We have 3 well-deserved promotions, and 1 well-deserved trip to the medbay. Hopefully next time Diaz will actually learn to shoot. With a hearty helping of fragments and other goods, it's time to handle promotions. First up is our amazing assault. We have 2 familiar choices in Steadfast and Flush, however I find Flush doesn't go particularly well with shotguns, and as for Steadfast, once again, its perk can be gained from an item. We do have one unique perk however. Close Combat Specialist is one of my favorites in fact. Whenever an enemy moves within 4 tiles, you get a reaction shot. It's a perfect counter against a charging Chrysalid or a Berserker. Plus, it can be combined with Flush for a free shot in certain situations. All of our assaults will be taking this feat. With her supreme accuracy, MVP Swords will be given a sniper rifle, though honestly I was half expecting her to be given a machine gun. As for Ortega, we're short on assaults, and we're going to be needing them very badly, very soon, so he picks up run and gun and is given his shotgun.
You're telling me that we should risk the lives of our troops so we can take one of these things alive?
Yes. Without a live specimen, I'm afraid we've reached the pinnacle of what my team is able to accomplish.
And how do you suggest we do this, Doctor?
The autopsy I've just completed confirms that the alien's physiology is quite similar to our own. A highly concentrated electrical current delivered at close range should cause
Close range? And what happens if it doesn't work?
Obviously they'll die. Pay attention to these things, Bradford, please. With xenobiology complete, the sectoid corpses can start rolling out, and the scientists can start rolling in. Next, we take alien materials because I'd like my soldiers to start living through missions. With everything taken care of, we begin scanning once again. Our steam vent has finally been excavated, but we're a few bucks short. I sell some UFO scrap and we're back on track. While the UFO computer is valuable later on, that thermal generator is going to be necessary to power an alien containment. Getting back to scanning, we ship off our first 2 sectoid corpses in exchange for a couple of scientists. The aliens seem to be finally giving us a much needed rest, but the council decides that they can't be having that. Please don't be a bomb mission. Oh great. Thanks for that, council, just what I've always wanted. Still, that $200 would be really nice right about now, and so we accept. Bomb missions are fast-paced and high-intensity. There is no time for careful maneuvering, and things need to die quick so you can move on to disable the next node. With this in mind, we gear up heavy with 2 shotguns and lots of explosives. We also bring a gunner for removing Overwatch and our infantry for mid-range support.
Dropship has arrived.
The drop site for this operation will be in Canada.
For some reason, the aliens appear to be targeting a gas station. Bradford, are you sure this mission is necessary? Yes? Yes. I understand. Bradford assures me that there's a children's hospital just across the street, an orphanage across the other, and that the blast radius is actually several miles. I guess we have no choice. Come and join me next time for Operation Frozen Empire. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.